helps you understand. If you want to feel a little less in the dark about your finances, just check out the Alio app in the App Store or Google Play, or even
Oh, we're already
send one
rolling.
text
My
to
bad.
Tim
I didn't even
to
realize
511511.
we were
That's
going.
Share the show with everyone you know. Who are you? What do you do?
I make music. Where do I look? Do I look at the camera? Do I look at any? Just look around. I'll look up there. What's going on, people? I'm Slow Jack. I make music for a living, but online I'm known for just saying stuff, talking shit, basically. In an Aussie accent, just being funny, mate. That's basically it. Thanks for having me on.
I was hoping this guy was somebody else.
What's going on, everybody?
I can't remember what that dude's name is.
I'm Shane Castro,
Cusco?
and I think Destiny needs an exorcism.
Or something. I can't, no.
Tonight at 10, I'll be going live with Inverted World.
I don't
Live.
know.
I'm gonna be
That
talking
other dude
about,
is
the
pretty
American
funny.
Death cult, terror cells, accelerationism.
All right, let's
gleeful
back to
demons,
it.
and after all that, I'd probably
Let's
get into
cheese
how
this.
NASA has banned Chinese nationals. And,
Let's cheese this assault rifle I found.
On my new YouTube channel, which is at Tim Pool, I made a video called "It's Time to Bring Back Exorcisms,"
Yes.
and it's actually it's a small channel. It's brand new. It's got like 35,000 subs, but it's 60,000 views already in the video, with everyone being like, "Yup."
Yeah, you can't deny it. There's evil everywhere.
There's ghouls
Everywhere.
around. You see them. Straight.
I tend to think that Destiny needs law enforcement.
Yeah, I think exorcism plus law enforcement.
There you
Is
go.
that?
So
Just like that, you should be the one doing it.
I'm ready.
Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Here's the news from PBS.org. J.D. Vance says national unity is impossible with those celebrating Charlie Kirk's killing. Vice President Vance said Monday while hosting Charlie Kirk's radio show that he is desperate for national unity after the conservative political activist's killing, but that finding common ground with people who celebrated the assassination of his friend is impossible. The Republican vice president filled in as host of the Charlie Kirk Show from his ceremonial office in the Eisenhower Executive Office Building next to the White House. The live stream of the 2-hour program was broadcast in the White House press briefing room and featured a series of appearances by White House and administrative officials who knew the 31-year-old Kirk. Vance, who transported Kirk's body home from Utah to Arizona
Real
aboard Air
speed and
Force Two last week,
accuracy.
opened by saying that he was filling in for someone who cannot be filled in for, but I'll do my best.
Movement speed would be
In his
cool.
closing remarks,
I like
Vance
that.
criticized
Well, obviously,
what he said were
Baruch, though.
lies about Kirk that he blamed for the killing. He also promised that the Trump administration will act to stop anyone who would kill another person because of their words.
Melee.
desperate for a
I don't
country
know. That'd be good
to
for
be-
Luke,
I'm
I
desperate
think.
for our country to be united in condemnation of the actions and the ideas that killed my friend. I want it so badly that I'll tell you a difficult truth. We can only have it with people who acknowledge that political violence is unacceptable. Well, here's the challenge, Mr.
Gun
Vice President.
damage.
With all due respect, I do agree. There are many prominent middle-of-the-road liberals associated with prominent mainstream
Let her
liberal
alive.
organizations who have been putting out lies. They've been making little comic
Ooh,
strips,
that's nice.
flooding the internet with lies to trick the left and liberals, the moderates,
I hope you can
that the
respect this at
assassin
some
of
point.
Charlie Kirk was a groyper. They are framing Nick Fuentes. And I think their strategy was Nick Fuentes is kind of a boogeyman even to conservatives, so if they blame him, conservatives will just say, okay, which is not the case. No one's going to do that. That's not true. And there's even an article from Axios debunking the
10
lies.
points.
What we believe to be true as of now, according to Kash Patel, the governor of Utah,
Oh.
Axios is reporting with 6 individual sources. Mind you, the media has no problem reporting things with a single anonymous source, but this time they have 6, saying the motivation for the assassination likely was the shooter's transgender lover. And the left is lying about it. So when J.D. Vance tries to be diplomatic, and I respect it, saying we can't have those that are celebrating
That's
the
kind of cool.
assassination of Kirk, my
That's
question
actually
then becomes,
nice.
and for everyone here is,
Sharpshooter.
can we have unity with those that are lying to cover up the assassin's motive to justify the killing of Charlie Kirk?
No unity. It's so refreshing seeing JD Vance say this because the line from the GOP
Took all the
not
stripper
the
money
entire
right there.
GOP, but from a lot
I
of
will
GOP,
take that. I will take that.
Like right off the rip was, guys, peace and unity. Let's all come together. Like this is a battle between good and evil. And it was very vague. It was not precise whatsoever.
Yep.
So it's so refreshing that Trump and Vance have gotten up here and straightened out everyone's rhetoric here because it's like, okay, sure, good and evil. That's downstream from left versus right. That's exactly what's going on here. One side is evil and has demonstrated that we should be killed for our beliefs.
You guys
And then
better
the other
punch
side
that
is
in.
Saying, let's have a debate. So it's just so refreshing to see this because I mean there was so many senators and congressmen that came out and did the whole peace and unity rhetoric, and it's like just not precise and not poignant to what's going on at all.
All that stuff's out the window at that point, mate. You see, people like, oh, but what about coming together? It's like, mate, people are dead. People have been shot. And I just look at it. I just don't understand how we even got here. And mate, I don't get upset much, man. But like, just as a dude, I don't like seeing people get shot and I just don't understand why it's such a conundrum, mate. They've just demonstrated that they're done with us, you know. And if they want people like Charlie gone, imagine what they want for someone who's got similar beliefs like you or me or whatever.
You guys are dumb.
This is a
Yeah, let's pass on the 1 yard line. That seems to go so well for teams. Pass on the 1 yard line. Now they're 4th and 1, and what do you do with that? 4th and goal.
They took out the guy, the only true guy. Well, there were many.
Do you
but
kick
he's-
it, or
the
do you
main
try
guy
to
just
try
went
it
full,
again
mate.
because
He went straight
they
to the
failed?
uni, straight to the colleges, whatever you call them. We call them unis. But
And-
he went straight to the source, mate, like a boss, like a rock.
and
I
with all
think
due
they
respect to
turned it
Milo
over
Yiannopoulos,
on downs,
who acknowledges he's not the nice guy.
but
Milo did his college tours, and he
Baker's on the
was
1 yard
starting
line
to
now.
snap back at these people. Charlie told some
Okay,
people- he didn't insult these people. He
here's a
said,
chance for my team to like
See that tweet where it's like,
either get a safety. I hope they get a pick six.
I would love to
Is this my pick six? A pick six, and then Baker has to fling it.
People on the left that are going to try to act as if what Vice President Vance said was blanket statement about the whole left and all. Like you said, he was precise. He specifically was talking about the far left, the crazies, and he did acknowledge there are Democrats that are not out of their mind. There are Democrats that do not endorse violence and stuff. And so it's worth pointing that out only because there are going to be people, and you're seeing it on X all day long. Vance has done this, Vance blah blah blah, Vance how terrible, how terrible. He did call for usually normal Democrats, but the people that are actually celebrating his murder, the people that are saying let's start lists of other conservatives, this is a good thing.
that's a lot of people. That's not 5 dudes.
I agree.
You know, that's like,
I agree 100%, and that's
Always
why
feels
I
good.
think why so many people are so shocked about the response. But like I said, I think it's important that we acknowledge that, or at least point out, Vance was not talking about all Democrats, and he made that distinction clear.
The thing is, they've mainstreamed political bloodlust since COVID.
Yes.
I mean, your neighbors started looking at you as a monster in 2020 during lockdowns. They wanted you to die. They were like, we're not gonna give you care if you don't get the thing we want you to take.
Yeah.
So it's just like the culmination
They
of a
want
lot
to
of that.
destroy your life. Yeah.
we're seeing this, and we're seeing people get fired from their jobs. And I think J.D. Vance may even had made mention to that. I don't want to misquote him, so I'm not going to try and paraphrase, but I don't care. These people, these liberals, are coming out and saying, "Oh no, right-wing cancel culture." And my attitude is, I agreed with the left when they said there are certain things that you can't say in public. The problem was they were pushing the line like they were forwarding the line like they were running across a football field full speed.
yeah, no.
And so people were getting swept up and being told that things they'd said 10 years ago were unacceptable today, even though they didn't say it today, and getting fired from their jobs. I have no problem saying, at any point, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or today, if you go to your job and start yelling about how you're glad someone got killed because they deserved it while you cackle like a fiend, if the boss said, "You're making people uncomfortable, you need to leave," I would have said, yeah, that's insane.
It's reasonable. It's not digging up a tweet from 12 years ago saying you said something insensitive when you were 13 or playing
Yep.
Xbox. We
Yeah,
got a recording of you walking down the street. It's someone going to work.
Penelope
like,
Streams here live at ringside with,
If
you
you have
guessed
a
it,
soul-
I don't want to
another
have
member
anyone
of
that
Kairos'
like that around
most
work.
lovably
Working
in.
McDonald's
Hey
on
you,
that 7-year
helpful gun
But
tornado.
like even
Excellent
worse than that, I think
timing.
if you have a soul, you have to understand that the people who are celebrating this and dancing on his grave,
Streams, how
they
are
need to be
you
removed from
everywhere?
society.
Choosing
Like,
to hear your
if
tone as
they're
admiration
teaching your
and
kid,
envy.
they can't
Here's
be
the
involved.
deal. This
They can't be
clown
kids'
who
education.
wants to
If they're in
wrestle
charge
the
of your
local
healthcare,
champ
they can't
and
be in
your
charge of your healthcare.
proven
Like that's
ratings
insane.
goal.
Doctors and
Either
teachers
you
everywhere,
agree to
mate.
be
There's
his
that
tag
article
team
from
partner,
a
or
teacher
this
in
broadcast
Canada
turns
showing
into
fifth
an
graders
in memoriam
the
segment
video.
real fast.
You know, that's a lot like what happened in the Cultural Revolution when they would drag people out in the public square in China and make children watch decapitations and make the children sing the Chinese national anthem while the heads were from the
I've never heard of that.
it's gross stuff.
And you know what I think is one of the terrifying.
I'm saying
it was a tweet I
yes,
saw.
but make a note that it's a
I
reluctant
remember when
yes.
the war with Israel and Iran broke out.
You start the
and
match
there was
off.
all
Wear
the
'em out
planes
real
and air
good.
traffic was
And
going
then,
around
this is
Israel and
important,
around that whole
tag
area.
me in
And
for
then
the
one
big finish.
UAE flight went straight over.
And this is a
And then
hands-up,
the joke
guns
someone
down
tweeted was,
sanction match.
I
That
deleted
means
all of
no
my social
guns or
media.
grenades
I
allowed.
deleted all my social
You gotta
media, and
punch
honestly,
his
my
teeth
mental health has
into his
never been
throat.
better. And they're flying
so-
straight over Iran. We get the point. It's not, yes, ignorance is bliss. And someone tweeted in reference to the story, if you delete your social media, you won't see it when they come to kill you. And that's actually kind of terrifying because what we are seeing, this was in response to all of the people posting, they want you dead. And not just that, lists have been made with many names. My name is on many of those lists, as well as many other conservative
I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
commentators.
Oh, he's got the
Fax
list.
lists, addresses, and
A little
who's
arm.
them next. There's videos of people saying, "Why just him? Go for the rest now. I'm waiting." There's one. There's just too many of these.
Oh, mate, they're saying you can look up the word next please on Twitter, and you can see a list of people
Snack on danger and dine on death.
It's disgusting, mate. How's this been
Death is
made
tasty.
mainstream? Just
They've
death.
been conditioned by their media.
Because
Conditioning young age.
institutions are controlled by their allies and never censor them. The right doesn't do this. The mainstream right, traditional conservatives, what does Charlie Kirk say? Race is still country. Race is what matters. Your ideas and your willingness to work. So what did they do? Mehdi Hassan tweeted out a page of out-of-context quotes from Charlie Kirk to justify why he's dead, saying that he was a bigot and a racist. Now, of course, he'll tell you, I'm not going to justify that he's dead. But we know that's exactly what they're doing. Because there's no reason to lie about someone in such a dramatic way. The reality is, Charlie Kirk was pissed. He did not believe these psychotic things they're lying about. He never said black women didn't have brains. They made that up. They're doing that because someone whose ideology is aligned with the mainstream Democrat Party. That is the important thing. People keep saying this guy was a leftist. Wrong answer. I won't call him a leftist. This guy was liberal aligned. He was left aligned. Why? What are leftists? Antifa marching through the street with masks on, screaming Antica Pizza Lista. It's fringe stuff, right? JD Vance said it was fringe stuff. Well, who is this guy? As far as we can tell, the only motivating factor was gender ideology, which of course is an ideology aligned with every single Democrat in Congress. This is not fringe. This is on television. This is on, what channel was it where they had AM Jazz? Where the mother talked about waking up her son in the middle of the night who has a surgical graft in his abdomen that she jams a device into? Was it TLC? I'm not entirely sure, so I'll be careful. But that is on television. That is on television. So this person is motivated to kill Charlie Kirk because his lover, his boyfriend, is a male who identifies as trans, and that's what investigators say. I think
You know
people need
what?
to wake
I'm
up.
gonna let you have this
As much
one.
as JD Vance is saying this is fringe,
But hey,
the ideology that
I guess a
motivated this
win's a
is
win.
sitting right now with every single Democrat in Congress. Now, I'm not saying every single Democrat wants to hurt anybody or is advocating for this. I'm saying this ideology is universal on the left.
There's states that will abduct your child if you don't affirm their gender BS.
That's right. There are states that allow strangers to kidnap your children, and if they bring them, I believe it's in the Pacific Northwest, if a man takes your 13-year-old child from your home, anywhere in the country, and brings them to that state for a sex change, they cannot be prosecuted.
It's insane.
That's why it's such a mistake for this line that some people are taking, where they're like, "Oh, he's clearly mentally ill, or he was clearly radicalized." It's like, just flip on any leftist streamer. You're gonna see there's a huge social incentive for, I'm not gonna say violence, but certainly hate. I mean, full-blown hatred towards these types of people. And Exhibit A.
Let's listen. Earlier today, Piers Morgan uploaded a debate with several personalities, including Jack Posobiec, Anna Kasparian, Andrew Wilson, and who else? Who was on it? Cornel West.
I do
He
kind of
stormed
want the
off in
runner,
rage
the movement
for refusing to have
speed.
a dialogue.
It's just the melee
So
damage.
Piers
I'm
Morgan
like,
decided to bring on Destiny, a liberal streamer, who states, and I quote, "If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Trump should not have been president in the second term." And I'll play the video for you right now.
Cornel West for now. Maybe we'll get him back. Well, Andrew Wilson referred to Destiny's insane tweets a little earlier, which were disavowed by Anna Kasparian. Well, Destiny joins us now. Destiny, you've been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags at half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday ending every conservative debate call-out I'd do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro. That's not what Charlie would have wanted." I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side.
This is
We
insane.
are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family. Who was a 22-year-old
guy
white
described.
dude.
No,
Wasn't
Destiny.
trans. He
No,
didn't have
Destiny.
a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys were wrong.
Come on,
He's
Baker.
But the most important takeaway from that,
You're failing me this year.
I'll show you a bit of this debunking it. How Charlie Kirk's killing sparked unfounded theories about groypers. Here's the New York Times. Kirk shooting suspect held leftist ideology, Utah governor says. And the only thing you can say is, you were wrong about that. You were wrong. But the most important takeaway from what he said was, if you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Trump should not have been president in the second term. 7 of the biggest protests were under Trump, most of the political violence. What he is saying is obvious to anyone who has ears, and he is saying it in a way to exploit legal loopholes. Because what he's not legally allowed to say, or I would argue that he crosses the line into potentially being sought after for criminal charges, is if he said, and if he were to express that he or others would kill people who vote conservative, that's when he gets in trouble. But when he says it in this way, what is he saying? By you voting for Donald Trump, a leftist killed Charlie Kirk, and maybe you shouldn't have voted for Trump. If you didn't want the left to protest, the biggest protests and the mass rioting that we saw in 2020, maybe you shouldn't have voted for Trump. But who was doing it all? The left. And that's the threat he's giving you. In fact, there's another video. How about I play this one for you?
Exactly like
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now.
Idiocy.
Guys, we can't hear when you talk over what they're saying.
not exactly like
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know, it's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know.
That's a lie. And that's all he does is lie. Because as the late
I'm
David
not.
Graeber
I'm more of
stated,
a. I like
the left,
Hitfire
10
better
years
though.
ago, adopted the fascistic ethos, quote, there is no truth but power. So when Destiny goes on
It's
Piers
kind of
Morgan
grok.
today
I like
and
that. The
says there
bullet
was
train.
no trans boyfriend, it's all made up.
But I don't
and
care
we
for
actually
this.
have, here you go, FBI investigating social media accounts that appeared to indicate foreknowledge of Kirk assassination, and they are all transgender-aligned accounts and in transgender forums saying, we effing did it. And you have numerous reports, even the DOJ saying that this person was left in line with a trans boyfriend, and even the New York Times reporting Governor Spencer Cox, who has been heavily criticized by the right for actually being pro-left. But we'll get into more of this and the evidence breaking this down. The point is, this argument that they're making right now is that Destiny didn't really mean that. He's saying, no, you should fear the death, not actually get shot. That's a lie. He celebrated the death of Corey Comparator. He mocked it and made fun of it. I'll tell you this. When he says the right doesn't fear any of this stuff, it's a fabrication, and I can tell you how I know this. Without naming any of the prominent conservative personalities, I can tell you that many of them that I personally know have 24-hour security details that cost millions
quite a
of
bit.
dollars per year. And
That's
they have
considerable
to sleep
amount
with
of
4
damage
men surrounding
increase.
their home every single night. And When I've gone and met with these people, I've had to we would go out for food, and there's 4 guys surrounding us all the time. In fact, I have armed guards. And now as we're planning a trip, as I mentioned, I'll be in Austin soon. We are contemplating how much is in our budget for armed security to be transporting me around. Destiny is
block
lying.
the punt.
He is creating terror intentionally. His statements are meant to be clear. Charlie Kirk died because Trump won the presidency, because you voted for who you want to. What he's saying is, this will continue. The left will be violent. They will kill again unless you stop and surrender and let them
Stroud,
do whatever
please.
they want.
Just light
it's
it
just
up.
terrorism. He's endorsing terrorism. He's saying that people should be afraid of being killed because of their politics.
I need you guys to
That
get
is
a
what
touchdown
terrorism
right
is.
now.
It's not some kind of big convoluted concept. When you say, I believe that violence should be used, and I endorse using violence to modify people's political expression, that is terrorism.
Where am I
That is
anyway?
exactly what Destiny's saying. He should get a visit from the FBI, and I think that if they decide or they find that he should go to trial, and if he is, he should be put in jail.
Yeah, well, and look, it's very careful what Destiny's saying here, where he's saying the right needs to learn to stop turning up the temperature. Okay, how exactly was Charlie Kirk turning up the temperature? Having conservative beliefs?
One more thing to that point. There has never in any society, there has never been a situation where people are given like when terrorism is used.
I don't think
and
this
the
is
response
right.
From the people has been to go to their leaders and say, "Give in to the terrorists."
I don't think this is
That's what
right.
He's saying you should.
None of this is
turn the
right.
heat on the conservatives, so they'll go to Donald Trump and say, "Donald Trump, you need to do things, and other Republicans, you need to do things that turn the temperature down." That has never worked in human history, ever. The response will be what I've said, which is use the force of government to put those people that would use terror into effing jail forever.
Let's put this in
What you gonna do, Texans? 4th and 10.
Republicans need to go to Trump and tell Trump to turn things down.
You got 5.5 minutes left.
Never
You're down
advocated
by
for violence.
4.
Never insulted people based on race. They have lied about him every step of the way. He sought debate. He let anyone debate him, and he was shot in the neck by a man.
Kick a 53-yard field goal. God dang.
The lightest nonpartisan approach.
Well, there is that. So Baker has to throw it here. They're only up by 1 point, so I'm pretty sure Baker has to throw this. I'm glad that they're back on offense, though, with 5 minutes left.
Kirk investigators.
Because that was quick. That was less than a minute.
Transgender roommate may lead to motive. Axios reporting this. This is not a conservative organization, and they said
I have a chance, but this is a nail biter. 91, 89.
Were hateful to people like Robinson's transgender roommate.
Yikes.
Sources familiar with the case tell Axios.
It's only a 5.5 minutes left. He's still got a kicker to play, too. So if Dicker the kicker does well tonight, I think that's calling it for the week for my team.
At the bare minimum, lived with a trans
Well,
person.
nothing happens here.
So
You can
forgive
basically
me
just
if I
call
say
it, but I
Groypers
don't.
live with trans people. That is a ridiculous fabrication. And here we are from Axios. How Charlie Kirk's killing sparked unfounded theories about Groypers. And prominent mainstream liberals were running this lie. They also ran a lie where they claimed that the bullet engravings reported by Crowder and the Wall Street Journal said TRN, and that was simply the manufacturer's stamp. It was a lie. Total fabrication. The bullet, in fact, said, "Hey, fascist, catch." Destiny's rebuttal on the show was that wasn't the bullet he was shot.
Try not to hunt me, okay?
Meaningless distinction. It was in the so I don't
Totally
know
missed.
Some are saying that Destiny's life has been ruined for some time. His family hates him, his kid hates him, and that he is doing these things intentionally to destroy his own life. And that may be the case. Now, the reason I bring that up is because the reason they're saying this is don't blame all liberals for a man who is intentionally destroying his own life through rage and addiction or whatever it is he's doing.
Searching for target. I like that he says this publicly so we know what the face of evil is. And also, who bailed out the arsonist in 2020? Who ignored David Dorn getting shot in the head? You know, I was like, the left was cheering on all of that destruction.
Aaron Danielson shot in the chest by Michael Reinhold walking down the street in Portland.
Children getting shot at different Chaz locations.
So, and I'll just point this out real quick. New York Post. Charlie Kirk assassination suspect had furry fixation and his
they're trying to run the clock.
Support for Biden on social media. It is fascinating to me that Destiny.
God damn it.
He knows he's lying. They all know they're lying. As I pointed out already, unfounded theories about groypers. These Democrats have been lying incessantly. Now, something I've shown, I was showing all throughout the day, and I want to pull this up for you guys. Let me see if I can find this one. I've played it like on every single.
I hope everyone's reading
I did today.
John Dutoit's tweet up there.
Yeah. I just don't like that guy's face, mate. That Destiny bloke. That's the reason why there's got that cuck chair in the corner of them hotels, mate. I mean, like,
he's a possessed Muppet.
So here we go. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this video for you guys in this context. Here you go.
So hi, I haven't.
Come on, Mike Evans. I need you.
Because we didn't know anything. And since my channel was created not to report the news but to make sense of it, I felt like the only responsible thing to do was to wait until there was
How are you?
It now appears that the person who shot and killed right-wing political commentators was less than a door to a young white male from a conservative pro-gun religious background.
Now let's just pause real quick and break down the manipulation technique she used. We call it assumptive or assumptive language. That is, to say something that will trick someone into assuming the statement is connected or to assume an output. That is, he came from a conservative background. She is hoping that you will then assume.
Come on, Baker. Just bomb it, brother.
There's a bunch of ways the media does this. One of my favorite things, one of my favorite techniques they use would be like this.
You're in 4th down.
I spoke with Shane Cashman. In a conversation, I was told that he hates vanilla ice cream. Now, it sounds like what I'm
16,
saying is,
though.
I
don't know if you can make that 4th and 16.
No, that's not what I said.
You'd probably just kick it.
In a conversation,
you're up by 1.
Totally different conversation. What do you mean?
You hope for your defense?
I never said that.
I don't know.
And that's the
I
game
want to
they
see
play.
him throw it.
Now, the reality is, we know this guy is reported by law enforcement.
Please.
Numerous journalists who investigated this. People who have talked to the shooter's friends and family. He was left alive. She says more.
After being told for 2 straight days that the left had declared war on America, that the shooter was most likely trans, or in Congresswoman Nancy Mace's words, pro-tranny.
Damn it.
After the Wall Street Journal published an article they had to later walk back, that the bullets had a pro-trans message because it turned out to be just the markings of one of the world's biggest ammunition factories.
Absolute abject lie.
Yes, man.
And there's no way she doesn't know that because they did a press conference and there were numerous reports on this. What she is basing her worldview off of is random anonymous Twitter accounts that were posting images of bullet casings with TRN for Turin on the bottom. And she ran with the lie without fact-checking, either because she is developmentally disabled, which I don't think so. I think she is intentionally lying the obfuscate motives of the assassin who is closer to the mainstream Democrat than At first, they celebrated until the Yankees did a memorial, a moment of silence, until the Cowboys. I think most NFL teams now apparently had.
It was just 4 that didn't. It was only
4 that didn't.
I don't know which ones, but it was just the 4. I think it was all of them basically, except the 4 of them. Yeah.
In Vegas, some of the casinos on their marquees in memory of Charlie Kirk. And when the liberals realized Charlie Kirk was a moderate, beloved by most people, Chris Pratt has spoken out. Bill Maher has spoken out. Jamie Kennedy, I think I just saw him, comedian.
Mick Jagger.
That was great.
Mick Jagger did.
Yep, he did.
The left began to panic when they realized they're on the wrong side of history. So they're trying to change the narrative, and they are playing dirty, evil, psychotic games to do it, but we will expose them.
Changing history, mate. There
well,
you go.
You've seen a few times on Twitter where they'll come out and they'll say, oh, it was a groyper that did it, and then you press them and you say, well, you're changing this because you know this is completely indefensible action that took place, and they'll say, well, no, actually it was his rhetoric that got him. So it's like they can't even decide on what their narrative is. It's just absolutely insane.
They fight with each other on it too. Like you see, they're still fighting the position of whether it's a moral thing to do. You see half of them are going, oh, he didn't deserve to die, and half of them are like, yeah, he did because he said this, and then they're collapsing on themselves.